welcome back to the channel. This is Alan Presents. I'm Leanne, I'm your host for this video, and I'm joined by Alan, my co-host for this video. Thank you for tuning in. Oh, that sounds weird. This is our reactions video to WWE's latest premium live event, Clash at the Castle, which took place in Cardiff, Wales, yesterday. So it was the 3rd of September, trying to remember the date. That's handy. So we do reactions and predictions for most premium live events, for all of them in WWE and AEW. This one might be a little bit different, with slightly different level of detail sort of thing, because we were there and it's a completely different experience actually being in the arena. You don't get the commentary in the stadium. You don't get
my
the
voice is shot, so
there's a lot of yelling, and the atmosphere really plays a completely different role than one you're watching on TV. So it is going to be a bit different, but we'll go through the usual stuff and compare what happened with our predictions from our previous video. If you haven't seen our predictions, we'll put a link somewhere, so go check them out. If you haven't watched the event, you might want to go and watch it first if you're worried about spoilers, because this is going to be very spoiler heavy, and some stuff went down.
So with the pre-show, they haven't had any matches on there for a while, and now all of a sudden they were like, "Hey, there's a match on the pre-show." They didn't even pre-announce it beforehand, so
we didn't. So we sat there waiting, and then suddenly
Madcap comes out, and it's like, well, let's say before that, Michael Cole came out, and he had a massive ovation. That was crazy.
Michael Cole got very good ovation.
And then Corey and Byron got booed.
Yeah,
so hard.
Like, Byron didn't even really get announced. It was Corey's name on the screens and
everything. They might have had someone saying Corey Graves and Byron, but we couldn't hear over the crowd. So,
but it was just Corey's name on the screens. It's weird, but there we go.
I think of Baron Saxton's own theme music. Ew.
So yeah, Madcap comes out, and he's joined by the Alpha Academy. No, wait, Street Profits. I got it the wrong way around. That would have been a weird matchup.
That would.
Madcap and the Street Profits versus the Alpha Academy and Theory.
Yep.
So it was a fun match.
Yep. Yeah. Street Profits as always, sort of blowing it out of the water.
Yeah, it was quite short, but for a warm-up match, I think you don't want it to go on too long. And the crowd were very much into it.
Considering it was like the first match, they just went, boom, hit the ground running.
Nothing beats a UK crowd at a wrestling event. It's great. So yeah, I don't have, because we were there watching, it's not like I could have been taking notes while we were watching, so it would have ruined it. So I haven't written much for most of these matches. So really, it was a good match. I enjoyed it.
Good opener.
Yes, and
plenty of action going on, plenty of just shenanigans and
always shenanigans.
It didn't really slow down much. It was just like boom, 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 boom,
and then
I think it was maybe 10 minutes max.
Yeah, I think so.
Give or take.
Yeah, and we ended with the Street Profits and Madcap winning.
Yeah,
which everyone is very happy about.
If we were doing predictions, that would have been my pick.
Yeah, but obviously since we didn't know about it until it was literally happening, there was no way we could do prediction. Okay, so then
they threw up a countdown on the screen, on the big screen.
15-minute countdown, and as soon as it got to 15 minutes and
14 minutes and 10.
14 and 10 seconds, the crowd started counting down from
like the
10,
Royal Rumble.
Like the Royal Rumble with the sound at the end, and then the countdown was taken off the screens.
Which got loads of boos.
Lots of boos.
Lots of boos for that.
Chants of "Where's the countdown?"
Yeah.
But it never returned.
It did not.
It's probably a good thing. They heard that first one and was like, "This is gonna happen every minute for the next 14 minutes."
And it's quite funny because we were talking to some people around this as well, and we knew it was going to be 12, 13 minutes. And then I happened to be like, "Oh, I wonder what time it is." I did this. It was 59 on my watch, and then boom, the lights went down. I'm like, oh, that was good timing.
I mean, they are nothing if not prompt.
Yeah, fair play.
So, we went into our first match of the event, of the main show.
Yeah.
Not the main event.
Of the Clash.
Yes. So
as Tyson Fury called it, the Battle at the Castle.
Battle at the Castle. Oh, Tyson.
What a moron.
Okay. I have realised I haven't written down the titles things before, so you might have to jump in to make sure they're in there.
Yep.
So we start with the women's trios match.
They don't call them trios in WWE.
No,
It's a 6-woman tag.
6-woman tag, that one. So we have Bianca Belair, Alexa Bliss, and Asuka versus Bayley, Dakota Kai, and Io Sky.
And like I predicted, what is the name of that faction?
Damage Control.
Damage Control.
It's a great name for a
Just
faction.
popped straight on the screen. I was like, called it, called it, called it.
Oh my goodness, the crowd. I don't know if I should sing it.
It's your call. You got a better voice than I have, so.
So you know, the one that's hey hey baby ooh ah, that one. It was Bayley instead, and the whole crowd, entire crowd sang it every time Bayley was in the ring, and when she wasn't, the whole crowd was chanting "We want Bayley" so that they could sing the song.
Yeah. It's an old NXT thing. They used to do that a lot at NXT.
Yeah, it's just. It was loud.
It was so loud.
It was fun.
You could see that Bayley was kind of taken back a bit. Like, looking at the screen, you had a close-up of her face, and she was kind of like... and like, Bianca was just like...
I think it's a compliment to her, you know, but...
she's been gone for a year and a half, nearly.
Yeah.
You know, that's...
Yeah, I mean...
She's a heel, but it is good to see Bayley back.
Yeah.
It really is.
It's like, it sort of took a bit of time for the match to start, I think. So they were like... What do we do?
Yeah. Just plow through.
Fair play. They got started, and then as soon as like some moves start, then the crowd starts like oohing and ahhing and stuff instead, and then they just start singing again later on.
Yeah. As soon as Bayley gets a sniffer going in the ring, hey!
It's so good. But like, despite it's sort of, you would half imagine that the crowd singing songs is they're distracted, but they were really into it. There was so much engagement from everyone around us.
Yeah.
And it was a really good match. I very much enjoyed it. Again, it might be partly to do with the atmosphere. Don't know. We might have to watch some of these matches back and see if it comes across different. Back and... yeah, real good. And the win goes to Damage Control.
Yep. So we both have that one right?
Whee! Yes. Makes sense.
They're not going to bring Dakota Kai and Io Sky up. Io Sky rather, because
they call it Io Sky.
Is it Io Sky?
I'm sure they call it Io Sky.
It's put a Y in there, so it's kind of thrown me off a bit. They're not going to have Damage Control come in and then lose.
No. All right, so that's first match.
Yeah, so even sort of at the beginning with Michael Cole and Madcap Moss and that coming out in the Street Profits, I wasn't expecting the crowd to be that loud. Like, we've been to, this is our first like major WWE event. The roof was on, there was nowhere for the sound to go, and it was all sort of encapsulated inside this stadium. And we've been to NXT shows at Download Festival, we've done stuff like that, but that's been a tent, it's been open, there's been plenty of space for that sound to just filter out. But as soon as like Michael Cole and that reaction just hit, and you're like, oh wow, that's loud.
Amazing.
Wow, okay.
Such a big crowd. I know they had blocked off part of like behind the hard cam and everything because it wasn't a sellout show, but it's still a huge amount of people in the same room with a closed roof, just all making the same noise at the same time.
Yeah. We'll cover the biggest reaction that I thought of the night.
Yes.
There was one particular standout that was like, wow.
It was.
I think that's what's got my ears ringing slightly.
Yeah, probably. All right, next we had Sheamus versus Gunther.
We're not going to talk about any of the filler stuff in this because whilst it did show it on the screen, on the big screen, you couldn't really hear it.
No.
There was a couple of bits. I think one was about Paul Heyman.
Yeah.
I think there was something
Paul Heyman did the Extreme Rules ad.
Oh, that's right.
There were a few recaps as well.
So the next PLE is, I think it was October 8th, this Extreme Rules in Philadelphia.
Yeah.
I think there was one for the Usos.
Yeah, I think so.
There was a couple there, but we're not going to talk about the filler because we didn't experience that at the event, per se, because we were talking to our people around us. There was a guy behind us, we'll give a shout out to him after, that we were talking to quite a lot, and it was really nice.
It was good. I mean, I had been a bit worried that because that filler, when you're watching at home, it feels like such a long time. I thought, like, we're just going to be staring at an empty ring for so long.
Yeah, like 10, 15 minutes at a time.
When you're there, you don't really feel it. I think it's quite a welcome break, actually.
I think it's that energy as well from the crowd that you sort of feel. Yeah. And it's like, oh, okay, this is
good
cool.
Stuff. So Sheamus versus Gunther.
Yeah. For the Intercontinental Championship.
Yeah, I didn't write any down and my brain's not working properly. It was a late night.
I mean, at this point, Leanne, it was only about 6:30 in the evening, so it wasn't that late.
I was writing things after the matches and on the train on the way
sorry,
home.
7 o'clock in the night.
So this is basically two hard hitters just slogging at each other, and it was good.
Well, they did have Sheamus and the Brawling Brutes come out first.
Yes,
and they stood in the ring.
That's right.
And then Ludwig Kaiser, and you're looking up on the screen because where we were sat, we couldn't really see the ramp because it wasn't elevated, it was flat. You had the sides up, you couldn't see it. So Ludwig Kaiser stood at the beginning and he's like, "Here's the ring general, leader of Imperium," and I'm like. Did he just say what I thought he said? Because the crowd was quite rowdy, and it's like, did he just say what I thought he said? Then the camera pans out. Fabian Eichner's back. We've got Imperium in main roster WWE, and the crowd's going bonkers at this point. Yeah. It's like, oh crap, really?
Crazy.
Yeah, but he still got that awful Gunther music, which is just awful. They should have just had the Imperium music.
Yeah.
That would have, I think. Having that, showing Fabian Eichner, having that mention of Imperium, and then having that song just hit in Imperium's theme music, that would have had the crowd on that just rising edge again, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. It was.
Sheamus had a good reaction.
Yes, he did. I mean, it's a UK crowd for a UK guy, so they're all behind him.
And we did stand about 20, 30 foot away from him earlier in the day as well. That was cool. Yeah.
Bit starstruck. Yeah, we saw him.
He's great.
Doing some press.
He's got really big forearms.
Yeah, very, very big forearms. It looked like he was going to bulge out his shirt. Yeah, I mean, it's great. There were obviously the Volta chants.
Yeah. Oh.
Non-stop, pretty much.
Pretty much, yeah.
It was and it was basically even after the event when talking about them. Everyone was saying Volta instead of Gunther because it had been just that name said over and over again that you sort of forget.
A lot of people in the UK will have been watching NXT UK or watching bits of NXT when Walter was there, and they bring him back and change his name, and people were always against it.
Yeah, I mean,
why change an established name?
It's just no reason for it.
Like,
it's a good name.
He's very different in the terms of how he looks at the moment.
Yeah,
he's a lot more chiseled. He's lost a lot of weight, and he looks fantastic. But I don't think that really merits a name change.
No,
Walter works better than Gunther. You know.
Change it back. We're fine with that. Go for it. So Volta Gunther did win this match.
Yeah.
And retain.
Yeah, just about my word, what a match.
Yeah, it was. It's
great. You could tell both guys were just like, oh, thank God that's over.
It was exhausting.
Yeah.
But so he left the ring and Sheamus stayed in there. So after he left, just as Sheamus sort of gets back up, the whole crowd is on their feet, just cheering for him because he put on such a good show, and he's the person that the crowd was rooting for.
It's weird because I don't think it is, but that almost felt like this was my last match kind of feel.
It had that sort of thing. It was,
which is really weird.
But I guess it was a.
I guess it's the homecoming, isn't it?
Yeah, it's that moment to allow the crowd to show their respect for him, which they did.
Yeah, it felt weird, but it was a good moment for Sheamus.
Yeah.
I love the beginning as well. Obviously, because you had the Brawling Brutes where you had Ridge Holland and Pete Dunne or Butch, and it was always just Ludwig Kaiser and Gunther.
Yeah.
But having Fabian Eichner there, you had Sheamus, you had Gunther, and you had the other four guys, and they just start brawling. And Sheamus and Gunther just stood there, just staring at each other. Yeah. And then they brawl out of the ring, and then as soon as they're ding ding, boom, 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 they start beating each other. It's like, that's great. It's almost like they're waiting for that. It's like street racing you see in like Fast and Furious films or whatever, where they've got there and they're waiting for the flag. And they're revving the engine, vroom, vroom, and then as soon as that flag drops, boom, it's on.
It's on.
That was great. I felt that was really good. It's like, almost like, we want to beat each other up, but we need to wait.
Yeah.
We have to wait for that ring of that bell for the okay, you can go now. I thought that was
waiting for permission. It shows that respect as well, doesn't it?
I really liked that. I thought that was cool.
Lots of bruiserweight chants as well.
Yeah, when Pete Dunne was there. Yeah.
Who knows?
That was great. Oh.
Maybe it'll result in something. Cool. Anything else for the match?
Nope.
Then we move on to Liv Morgan versus Shayna Bazsler for the women's one.
Yes.
It's alright. The crowd was...
This was the deadest match of the night.
Yeah, this was the go get a drink. Sorry, not many people actually got up, but it was like
Well,
you can have it just have
a lot
chat.
of people were taking this, I think, from the bar break and the toilet break, and
it wasn't a great match. Shayna Baszler was made to look very weak. She seemed gassed right from the off, and I think it was she had to hold back to make Liv look stronger. There were
it's a very big mismatch.
a lot of Shayna's usual holds Liv got out of way too easily.
Yeah, that was trash.
And a lot of the holds that Liv was putting Shayna into, Shayna was being stuck in more than she should have. She should have been able to get out of those a lot easier than she did.
That was crap.
So I think the balance was off. We're not getting Shayna's actual character. No. I don't know what she is right now is the problem. She isn't the Shayna that we know, but hasn't got a different
She's
character.
not the Shayna that we know, and she's not the Shayna that we want.
No. She's not anything. She's just a middling...
floundering fish out of water.
Yeah, she doesn't. What it feels like. She doesn't have a character right now, and that it's doing harm, if anything.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Mm-hmm.
I mean, I really do like Liv Morgan, but she is not on Shayna's level, and that this shouldn't have gone the way that it did.
No. It's putting Liv in there with Ronda for a second time was a mistake.
Yeah.
You should have potentially at this point had Ronda versus Shayna for number one contendership, and have Liv maybe every other week on SmackDown going against a different challenger like Natalya, Dana Brooke, and sort of almost building her up against bigger talents, because a lot of the women in there are a lot bigger than Liv Morgan, whether it's in terms of height or bulk or muscle or whatever. And Liv Morgan is just a very weak-looking competitor in this division right now.
So you could have a series of matches where Liv sort of gets put in certain holds or gets like taken out by a move, and then the next match against someone else, she knows how to get out of it. And it's that learning curve to get her to the level where she might be able to take on Shayna, rather than she's the champion, so she's going to take on Shayna, but we need to bring Shayna down to her level.
Oh look, here's Shayna sticking an armbar on Liv. Oh, she's already out of it. Here's Liv sticking an armbar on Shayna Baszler. Oh, she's in it like 30 seconds later. There's a minute. Wait, what?
Yeah, it was...
Shayna's like a former MMA fighter. There's no way in hell that Liv Morgan could hold an armbar on Shayna Baszler for that long.
She's too small for it.
Yeah, she hasn't got the power. You look at Shayna Baszler, she flexes. It's like, oh, okay, not messing with that.
Yeah, like I said, I love Liv Morgan, but this wasn't right.
The crowd just weren't
into it.
They weren't into it. They weren't happy with that.
Liv won and retained, which I think we expected.
Yeah, we got that one right.
But not exactly happy about. Oh, we missed doing...
Yeah, I spotted that. So in terms of Sheamus and Gunther, I had Gunther winning, Leanne had Sheamus winning. So I was right on that one.
That's wishful thinking, maybe. Did we do the women's damage control winning?
Yeah, we had that right.
Cool. Mm-hmm. All right, anything else about Liv and Shayna?
That was the worst match on the card.
Worst match on the card.
It's a shame, because the women's title should be one of the best matches on the card.
Yeah.
I feel that
the matchup wasn't right.
If Bianca had been in the ring with someone instead of Liv, and Liv was part of that 6-person tag instead, I feel that would have been better.
Yeah. So you could... It's more believable that Bianca could go with Shayna.
Shayna's on SmackDown and Liv's on and Bianca's on Raw.
You see what I mean?
Yeah. But I mean that in the sense that if Bianca was defending the Raw Women's title instead of Liv defending the SmackDown Women's title, I feel that would have been a much better match.
Yeah.
Regardless of who the opponent was. I'm not a massive Bianca Belair fan, but she can put on a good show. As we saw at SummerSlam with Becky Lynch. That was phenomenal.
Yeah.
You know. Oh, one thing we didn't cover with the 6-woman tag is that Bayley pinned Bianca.
Yes.
So she is technically going to be, I'm number one contender because I pinned the champ. And she has a rightful claim to that.
That'd be cool. I'd watch that. All right, next is Edge and Rey Mysterio versus the Judgment Day. So you had Finn Balor and Damian Priest.
Yeah.
Sorry, Damian. Damian Priest or
Damien Priest.
What is he now?
It's Damian Priest.
Cool. I couldn't remember if he dropped it.
No, they dropped the Damian side.
Oh, that's right, Priest.
God. Obviously, Judgment Day is Rhea Ripley in their corner, and Edge and Rey Mysterio have Danger Mouse in their corner. I mean, Dominic Mysterio in their corner.
In his bright yellow shirt.
And his mullet.
Yeah, and his mullet.
You're not Eddie.
Okay.
Who's his pappy?
There were signs.
Just powering through, guys. Just powering through. Go on, Leanne.
Okay, well, Edge's entrance.
Yeah, so Ray comes out and he gets a pretty good ovation, and you kind of looked at the screen and you realise that the mask thing on the Titantron, or whatever the hell they call these days, is all sort of filtered to make it look like a comic book style.
Yeah.
I never noticed that really either, but
you can't. It doesn't come across on TV, but it looks almost like it's sort of stylized.
yeah, which looks kind of cool.
Yeah, it does look cool. That's fun. And then Edge comes out.
Edge comes out, and I lose my hearing because it's so loud for Edge.
Pop.
Like,
Yes.
damn, dude.
Just everyone singing Broken Dreams.
Not, well, even just before the lyrics start.
Yeah.
Everyone's just like, yeah.
It's almost as if he'd been a surprise entrant or something.
Well, the thing is that with the live shows, they might not bring Edge over. So he might not have been in the UK wrestling for the last 10, 11 years since before his retirement.
That's very true.
And you could see when he sort of got there, he was like, wow.
Yeah.
The starstruckness of that with 62,000 odd people singing his theme song, including us.
Yeah, we were right in there.
Yeah, so good.
It was great. Really good. I think this match, it felt a little bit flat to start with.
Yeah.
But I feel like that was probably the sort of the atmosphere carrying over from the previous match a bit. So people hadn't quite got back into the flow of it.
And not even that, people might have still been at the bars and the toilets and
Yeah.
stuff, because the queues are pretty big. I mean, you've got 60,000 people there. There's only so many toilets and bars, like the people serving, you know.
Yeah, so queues and everything. But yeah, it picked up. It was real good. We had Edge doing the 619, which was
that was wild.
He is a
the
tall
crowd
man.
went wild for that.
He is so tall to be doing
He's like,
619.
I think he's 6'4", 6'5".
It's like, how can he get his
Yeah.
legs up
He's
there
like
for
a
so
foot
long?
taller than Rey Mysterio. Like, damn, dude.
It's great. Could have been kicking the ring post his size. That was fun to watch. Yeah, it's just great. I really
It's
enjoyed
really good,
it.
yeah. As soon as Edge got in, like, with the tag, as soon as he got that tag, the crowd just erupted again. It's like, oh, this is great.
I can't remember seeing much in the way of shenanigans.
No, there wasn't really. Rhea Ripley kind of threatened getting involved, but the ref
Yeah.
was looking, so I don't think she did. But again, it's hard because we had a couple of
Very excited people.
very excited people in front of us who were sort of quite a few pints in at this point. And they kept bouncing around. It's fine.
Yeah.
It is what it is. But there was probably bits that we've missed, but it's fine.
Probably.
It's fine.
It's
all
all good.
It's the atmosphere as
We
well.
got the
so,
important
yeah.
stuff. Yeah. I mean,
They were
the
nice
atmosphere
lads
was
as well.
awesome. They were.
Yeah. And they're from our town as well, our hometown. So that was like, wait, what?
Just the
I know,
coincidence.
it's crazy.
So yeah, great match to watch, and we ended with Ray and Edge winning.
Yeah, I think Edge hit a massive spear on, I think it was
I
Finn.
think so, yeah. It's good. Yeah, I love Finn Balor, so just seeing him was pretty special. But yeah, seeing him take a spear is also special.
So, do you feel more honoured to have seen Finn Balor alive or Edge?
Edge, I think.
Edge has only got another year in him, he said that
Yeah.
himself, so
So
I'm really glad I got to see Edge.
limited opportunity. I think Finn Balor is more a bit like swooning a little tiny bit.
Yeah, and he's got quite a lot left in him.
Yeah,
he's
he's going to be going for
years.
ages. Yeah, so they won. Celebrating in the ring. With Judgment Day just on the outside recovering. Dominic seems to be hanging out a bit away
His
from
body language is very odd at this point.
Yeah, because there'd been we covered it in the predictions where he was a bit salty about not being in this match because he wanted it to be a father-son thing because they're a tag team, but Edge was then he felt like he was replaced by Edge a bit.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
I'll still be.
I think
your
that's where they're
corner.
going with this storyline.
Yeah. So Ray tries to get him over to sort of raise his hand with them because he's part of the team. And then
It's a
Dominic
participation medal, Danger Mouse.
turns to Edge and kicks him in the balls.
Straight through the uprights.
Ooh, it
looked brutal.
it's a big low blow.
That looked brutal.
And then you got Ray like,
Ray's just like,
what are you doing?
what have you done?
And then like begging to like, please, it's okay, I love you, kind of thing. And then Dominic does one massive clothesline on his poor little dad.
Poor little daddy.
And we're just there like, oh, yes.
Yeah, as soon as he I love Edge, but as soon as Dominic low blowed him, I was just like, yeah! Because we've been waiting for this heel turn for so long.
And he's like facing up to his dad, like, do it. Clothesline, yeah.
And they held that for quite a while. It felt like it was like 10 minutes, but it might have only been like 30 seconds. But it was just like, go on, hit him.
It's amazing. And then he like heads up the ramp, ripping his Mysterio shirt off.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure if he'd have a Judgment Day shirt underneath.
I was hoping he would have. Yeah.
It wasn't quite the turn to join them. It was the turn away from.
But as Dominic sort of jumped out of the ring, you just got to pan across. I think either to Roy on the floor or to Finn Balor directly, and Finn's just like.
Yeah, all three of them just like laughing. It was so good, that moment.
That reminded me of Superman 2. Where you've got the three Kryptonians from the Phantom Zone, General Zod, Ursa, and Non. Mm-hmm. And I don't know why, but that just reminded me of that. The way that Ursa would always just be like, with that maniacal laugh. But Zod and Non would just be like, it's great, I love that. I think the black and the PVC kind of look help with that.
Yeah, I think so. I do like how the Judgment Day, they're a heel faction, and they're quite sort of dark and mysterious, but they... just have a whale of a time whenever they're doing. Yeah. They're just doing it for
someone
fun
got kicked in the balls.
Did it. And like, yeah, we had a part in this. This is because of us. Yeah, so that was...
Yeah, that was great. It was a good match. I really enjoyed that match.
It was, yeah. Did we get that one right?
I did. You did not.
And you predicted the
Dominic heel
turn.
Extra points.
Extra points. Fake points.
I felt that if they didn't turn him heel at that point.
Yeah, this was the right moment to do it. And in front of this crowd, particularly a UK crowd. Yes.
We need to watch that back on the network and see how loud that was when Dominic just boots.
Once we're all up to date with predictions and reactions and
AEW's tonight as we're recording this, so that'll be tomorrow night when we get home from work.
Yeah, and then we'll catch up with that just for fun. Let's see. All right, next. Oh, I hadn't realised how close to the end of the show we were.
There's only 6 matches.
6 matches. I'm amazed it was only 6.
Well, 7 including the pre-show.
The pre-show. Yeah. This is Riddle versus Seth Rollins.
But this is Matt Riddle now, I think.
Is it Matt Riddle?
I think they announced him as Matt Riddle, if I remember rightly.
Good.
So. I don't think Triple H ever liked this whole, it's just drop names.
It's like, you are your surname now.
Don't, yeah. It's like weird. Austin Theory is Austin Theory again.
Yeah, that's good. So Matt Riddle versus Seth Rollins. This is great. Again, really good
Riddle got a pretty good pop.
Yeah, Riddle got a good pop, and Rollins got a great pop.
But as soon as burn it down, the crowd went, as Pat Patterson say, the crowd went banana. and obviously singing his theme song. Mm-hmm. And they just kept going and going and going and going and going. And Rollins is in the ring just before the match starts, and he's just kind of like,
he was loving
soaking it in. And then the match starts, they start beating each other up, and then Riddle's down one of them, they start singing the theme song there, and he's like...
Yeah.
I loved it. It was so good.
Yeah, but even with that, because everyone is going to sing, if part of the crowd starts singing the theme song, the whole crowd is going to. But then when the Let's Go Riddle, Let's Go Rollins chants start, you get an even split.
Yeah,
because that's part of the atmosphere, isn't it? Everyone is in for the sing song, but they know who they're backing.
I think it's not case as well that even though Rollins is a bad guy, he's just such a great talent. He's such a great wrestler.
Yes, and so charismatic.
Everyone respects that, and everyone wants to kind of cheer for him, even though he's fighting someone that they might like.
Yeah,
they're gonna join in with that chant until it's Let's Go Riddle, Let's Go Rollins, or what.
Yes. Exactly, it's that respect, isn't it?
It is. I got a lot of time and respect for Seth Rollins.
Yeah, he's great.
I mean, he plastered John Cena's nose over his face. What's not to like, right?
I really, really enjoyed this match. Riddle put on a great show.
Phenomenal, yeah.
Rollins put on a great show, as expected. I think that the anger and passion that Matt Riddle had shown in promos maybe didn't come across as much as I'd expected in
I expected him to be a lot more vicious.
Yeah.
I expected him to jump Rollins as soon as he got in the ring. But he was just like stood there and was like, well...
Yeah, because I mean, he'd be literally saying, I'm going to effing kill you.
Yeah.
And then he's just wrestling a normal match.
Yeah, that felt a bit out of place.
But perhaps it could lead to a no disqualification match or a street fight kind of thing.
I do feel that Rollins was a bit more aggressive than usual.
Yeah.
I mean, the one thing that got the crowd, so they're obviously fighting, and every now and again the crowd would stand up there. But the one that got pretty much the entire crowd standing up was when Riddle was draped over the ropes, and you could see Seth's cogs ticking, and he was like, and everyone was like, go on, and he hits Randy Orton's draping DDT off the ropes on Matt Riddle, and the crowd was just eating it all up.
Yeah.
Seth had them right there in the palm of his hand at that point.
Mm-hmm. That man knows how to work a crowd.
Oh, absolutely.
And he knew from his entrance, he knew that he had them already.
Yeah.
And what he needed to do to keep them.
Yeah.
I got the finish on this one.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oof.
Riddle's like, I think he was nearly upright, wasn't he, Riddle, on this?
He's kind of like three-quarters up, I think. Yeah.
Rollins climbs to the top.
Second
rope, was it? I couldn't quite see.
Yeah, it was second rope.
And he does the biggest stomp I've ever seen.
Yeah, I haven't seen one like that
on
before.
Riddle.
Jeez.
From nearly upright.
Yeah.
And just like plants his face into the mat.
That was amazing.
Pretty sure he properly connected because the lump that immediately appeared on his head, it was just bulging from his eyebrow.
So bad.
Just immediately, you know that's gotta have hurt.
He's gone back to Gorilla, and they're like, "Someone get me an ice pack."
Oh yeah, monster stomp I put, and
monster stomp.
A monster stomp.
I like that.
And Seth pins for the win, as you'd expect after something getting your face.
And then the crowd do another sing along.
Yeah, another sing along. Cheers all over the place.
Yeah,
it's great.
I
goes.
I put in another amazing match for Seth Rollins.
Yeah.
Because he always seems to pull them out.
Yeah.
He always seems to have barn burners no matter who he's working with. And that shows the talent level that he's got.
Yeah, he's amazing.
And when he's champion, he's good. But I think when he's not champion and he's in more personal storylines, he's just so much better.
Yeah.
So I'd rather see him not win a strap again and just have matches like this.
Yeah, 'cause he knows how to make it personal.
Not be the main event because, I mean, technically, I guess you could put him in the main event, and not every main event has to be for a title. You know, look at Hell in a Cell, where it's Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins. I didn't particularly like that match because I didn't feel that Cody Rhodes should have been in that match.
Yeah.
But the WrestleMania match, the WrestleMania Backlash match, the Hell in a Cell match, all those matches, none of those were for titles. But they were probably held as one of the main events of the card.
Yeah.
You know, and Seth Rollins doesn't need a belt for that.
No.
He can just go. Like when Orton comes back, I think this could be one of the things they might be leading into. You're stealing my moves, you're beating up my bro, what are you doing? Yeah. And then he obviously goes for Seth Rollins. So that could be, and we'd have another rematch. I think it was one of the WrestleMania 30 something, where he goes for the stomp. Seth Rollins goes for the stomp on Orton. Orton flicks up and he catches him out mid-air and just RKOs him. And I'm just like, that's the best RKO I've ever seen to this day.
Those two work very well together.
Blew my mind, that one did.
I'm ready for more Orton versus Rollins.
Yeah. It was so good.
Very good. Great match.
Yeah.
Did we both get that one right? I don't know what I said.
No, I got it right. You got it wrong. You said Riddle.
I did bad on this
We
one.
did surmise that Orton was going to return, and there was a fever pitch waiting for it.
Yeah.
Didn't happen, unfortunately, but it's a back injury. He might be out for the rest of the year, so... We'd rather Orton get well and then...
Yeah, definitely.
You know.
Come back when he's ready.
Yeah, I anticipated Rollins was winning this.
Yeah. Cool. Well, I haven't got a signs of the pay-per-view segment today because we were in the crowd, so it's hard to see. Did see a sign that said brown sauce on pasta.
Yeah, that was weird.
I don't know whether it's better or worse than ketchup on pasta, but...
Probably a bit better, I think, because at least you got a bit of a tang to that.
A bit more flavour. Yeah. But what I will do...
So, I mean, what we've got, instead of Leanne's signs of the pay-per-view, we've got Lee Allen's sign of the pay-per-view.
Yeah. I mean, our signs didn't make TV.
Well, we don't know, because I don't think we were seeing a direct feed from the network.
So we had... Our friends in front of us were saying, we're going to get your sign on TV.
And they kept putting it up for us.
Yeah, which was
really
quite...
cool.
It was fun. It was a nice atmosphere.
That was sweet.
And then...
So they were nice lads.
As promised. Bring back
we did try getting "Where's your prop rock" chant going, but
I don't think enough people know prop rock.
Yeah,
not enough people appreciate prop rock.
We need to maybe print like leaflets and books, and the next time we go, have you got a moment to hear about our Lord and Savior, the prop rock?
I don't even care if other people don't find it funny. I find it very funny. So, but yeah, as you can probably tell from that, we're leading into our main event.
It's time
for the main event.
event.
Roman Reigns versus Drew McIntyre for the undisputed WWE Heavyweight Universal, the other one, championship.
We didn't cover that Liv and Shayna was the SmackDown Women's title.
Oh yeah, that's fine. It's fine as a bad match anyway.
The cards are thrown up, people will know what it is anyway, it's just fine.
Okay, I was writing notes about this on the train, and then the friends that we made mysteriously turned up.
Yeah, that was weird. That was
having
crazy.
No idea where we were.
It's crazy,
so,
yeah.
I didn't finish my
notes. I love that you just walked past and went, "Oh, hi guys." It's like, "Oh, hello."
Oh my goodness, we found you.
It's like, how the hell did that happen?
That's so good. But I got nearly to the end, so it's I can wing it from here.
Yeah.
This was such a good match.
So, before we even get into the match itself, there was a lot of speculation, and I naysayed this at the predictions video, and I technically was right, but technically was wrong. He didn't come out to it, but they did do a little, maybe 30 to 40 second, maybe even a minute. I'd lost track of how long it was, because me and the guy behind were just sort of embracing it, where they played Broken Dreams, which is his old theme song, and as soon as it hit, we couldn't hear it properly. They should have turned it up a little bit, but the crowd, I think that's why we couldn't hear it. The crowd just went absolutely nuts. And then they played this little vignette thing. He was like an old fashioned looking thing, with the sepia tones. And then it hits gallantry and out comes Drew.
Yeah. It was a nice touch.
It was, yeah.
And it definitely got the crowd going.
It did. Not that Drew needed anything else to get the crowd going for him, but...
Oh, they were behind him big time. And just hating on Roman so bad. I felt a little bit sorry for him.
Apart from that one woman beside us.
Yeah, I thought there was one woman beside us who, her friend was literally filming her during Roman's entrance because she was like, she loved him very much. And she was the only one going, "Come on, Roman!"
Just that one voice.
Like, oh, you
come on, Roman!
She was so excited. Everyone else behind Drew, 100%. We were next to some Scottish guys as well.
We did see a couple of people doing the one.
There was some doing the one, but most people just boos. Yeah. Loud boos. Many chants, some of which would not have made it onto TV.
Yeah, we cannot repeat here.
No. But just Drew McIntyre was loving it. Yeah. He was just like, whenever there was the "Who are you" chants, which...
And he started pointing.
Yeah.
In tune with the chant.
Yeah.
At Roman.
So I think a lot of our viewers will be from the UK, will understand the significance. I'm not sure from other countries, but essentially, if it isn't as common knowledge as it might be, "Who are you" is basically you're a nobody, what are you doing here kind of thing. We don't respect you. Yeah. So it's quite a big sort of insult, really. But I mean, Roman was just looking a bit confused. Yeah. But in character, because he's like, everyone should acknowledge me. I'm the best. Why are these people hating me? Kind of thing.
There was a point in the middle of the match where he grabbed a microphone. He's like, "Acknowledge me," but you couldn't hear him because everyone was already booing the hell out of him. Yeah. It's like, okay, great.
No, the moment he picked up the mic, he was like, "No, put that thing down. Keep getting your butt kicked." It was so good though, and there were so many close calls. Yeah, everyone was edge of the seat.
We had two Scottish guys beside us who were literally on pins and needles all day, all the match. It was
even though we sort of knew what the outcome was going to be in the end. There was so many moments where it was like, but what if it's not? What if Drew could win this?
Like he hit, I think it was a spear, and it looked brutal, and he went for the pins like 1, 2, and he kicked out 2, 9, and 9. It's like, oh my god, that was close.
Yeah. There were a few where at near the start where Drew kicked out at 1.
And Roman was like,
yeah.
And then the storytelling as well with Roman, when he was sort of not getting his way and Drew wasn't staying down, you could kind of see him talking to himself and doubting himself, which okay, this is cool, this is interesting. The cracks are showing in the tribal chief.
Yeah, because he's done that recently, the sort of muttering to himself when things aren't going his way.
It was a lot more prevalent with this.
More. So at one point, they're both on the outside and Drew's sort of, I think, getting ready to run at Roman, I think, and sort of comes to the part of the crowd where oh my goodness, what's his name?
Oh, Tyson Fury.
Yeah. Was it him?
Oh no,
that got
Karrion Kross.
Karrion Kross.
Karrion Kross was in the front row.
Yeah, so Karrion Kross and Scarlett were there, and they sort of got distracted a bit by them, I think, sort of facing off a little bit.
Both of them did, though. It wasn't just Drew. Both of them kind of got distracted by Karrion.
But that one allowed Roman to get sort of recover and then get some hits.
I think Roman got distracted. That's where Drew hit him. Drew got distracted. Karrion starts taking off his jacket, and then Roman just like...
Yeah, so even though Karrion Kross didn't exactly get involved, he still had a part to play.
It's good to see him there, though.
Yeah, definitely.
I would have liked to have seen more from Karrion Kross because I'm a Karrion Kross fan, but that was good.
It works towards the build-up, I suppose. And he was there. So lots and lots of close calls. The closest call of all looked like there was going to be a 3 count with Drew pinning Roman, and then a mysterious figure pulls the ref.
Oh, wait, you missed something.
Did I? Oh, no, I missed something.
So they both of them were beating 7 bells out of each other, and then it looked like he was going to become a triple threat. Because A-Town down hits, and here comes Austin Theory with his briefcase.
How did I forget that?
I don't know. Austin Theory runs down with his suit briefcase. It was after the ref bump.
That's right.
And he's got his own ref with him, obviously, and he goes to the timekeeper, and he's like, right, ref, right. And all of a sudden, Tyson Fury just knocks out Austin Theory, and it's like,
That's twice.
All right, cool.
Twice now he's tried to cash in and just got knocked clean out. It was great.
Yeah. So then, obviously, Charles Robinson's down because he's taking a bump. But then, obviously, we got another
ref out. So that's when the almost 3 count happens.
Yeah.
And this new
I think
ref,
he hits a Claymore on Roman. I think that's what it was they hit him with.
Like interrupting Superman punch with a Claymore or something along
like
those lines. Which that happened a couple of times. Ref gets pulled out of the ring. And
literally at 2.5. It was like, God, that's close.
It was so close. And I can't remember.
It's a hooded figure at first. I'm like, what the hell is that? He's just kind of looking down, staring at the ref. He looks up, and you can just about see the beard, the goatee, and he pulls his hood down. I'm like, Solo Sikoa, the Usos' younger brother from NXT, just saved that title for Roman Reigns. Solo Sikoa.
I didn't know who it was, and I think a huge amount of people in the crowd also didn't know.
The guys in front of us were like turning, who's that? I'm turning to the guy behind me because we both know who it is. I'm like, ah! And then the guys in front are like, who's that? I'm like, it's the Usos' younger brother. And they're like, ah!
I mean, considering the Usos couldn't be there, I think this was the best way.
The only other way you could have pulled this was Sami Zayn.
Yeah. I think this was better.
Yeah, I agree.
So now we've introduced
it's proper
someone new.
bloodline stuff because he is part of the bloodline.
So he's probably going to join the faction, I imagine. Now.
Well, he walked out. Well, obviously Roman Reigns wins.
Yeah, Roman wins.
And he walked out with Roman. And Roman's kind of like
didn't expect him
at first, and then he was like, all right.
He's family, so it's not like he's going to be have to pass a test to get in. But I think he passed a test to get in.
But then now from here, obviously going forward. Is this going to change the dynamic of the bloodline? Yeah. Could he start becoming the favoured over the Usos?
That, yeah.
Not only
could cause
that,
some rifts.
Not only that, you've got Undisputed Universal WWE Champion.
Yes.
Okay. You've got Undisputed Tag Team Champions. Solo Sikoa could go for a belt as well.
Yeah. Oh no.
What's the only belt that's on SmackDown that is not held by the bloodline by the male competitor? The Intercontinental title. So what if we're going to get the bloodline versus Imperium? Solo Sikoa versus Gunther.
And now that there's three Usos and their brother, plus the 3 in Imperium, that could be a tag match. Interesting. So, I mean, this was, to me, I think this was the match of the night.
Yeah.
I think partly because of the atmosphere, the crowd was so into it, and it was just a huge barrel of laughs, just like listening to all the crazy chants they're coming up with that spread throughout the whole arena, the whole stadium. The weird bit, I think, after Roman had left, Tyson Fury comes out while Roman's in the ring, and sort of we're all like, he's sort of standing up next to Roman, and we're just yelling like, deck him, punch him out. But they handshake, and then Roman goes off.
Yeah.
And then Tyson Fury holds out his hand to Drew on the ground and helps him up. Corner. And then they have a sing-song.
Yeah. I'm assuming the feed would have cut off by this point, but that just felt really out of place.
I think what they were doing, because they know the UK crowd loves to sing songs instead of chanting.
It doesn't work.
Especially like in a football crowd. So I think the songs that they were singing were the sort of songs that are sang at football matches.
Maybe.
I think, but I don't know.
One of them was an Oasis song, which I can't stand Oasis, so that dragged that down for me.
It was a bit of fun, I suppose, and they wanted to do something for the crowd.
But it just fell out of place. Drew's just gone 5 rounds with Roman Reigns.
And then they're singing
just singing a song. That just felt odd.
I feel like they were trying to go for the sort of atmosphere that you would get when Stone Cold Steve Austin, after a show, like, has a few beers in front of the crowd and is we're having a party. Yeah. And I think that was sort of the type of thing they were going for.
The thing with something like that is that's organic. Drew McIntyre singing Oasis songs, to me, is not organic.
It's a bit weird.
Yeah.
So it's a little bit odd, but I mean, most of the crowd were into it, and it was a bit fun, I suppose.
Yeah. I just feel like I feel
like Tyson Fury did not need to be in the ring for it. But I guess it would have been even weirder if it was just Drew singing on his own.
Well, he wouldn't have. He probably would have just given a heartfelt speech to the crowd.
Yeah, he could have just said something.
And that would have been better to me.
Like, thank you.
Yeah.
And then off you.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I mean,
if we're talking match of the night, it's a difficult one.
Yeah.
I think in terms of crowd interaction, I think the 6-woman tag had the better one. Because they were clearly getting to Bayley. And it was almost to the point where she was like, what do I do?
It's almost like it could have influenced the outcome of the match kind of thing.
In terms of best match of the night,
yeah,
I think in terms of in-ring competition, would you still say it's Roman and Drew?
Oh, probably not. I think in terms of in-ring, like,
yeah. So we're gonna do two. So one in terms of crowd reaction, which yours was Drew and Rollins, Reigns, and mine was the 6-woman tag. In terms of actual in-ring competition,
Edge and Ray versus Judgment Day. I think.
Yeah.
It's either them or Gunther and Sheamus, but I think I'm going for them.
For the tag team?
Yeah.
For me, Riddle and Rollins.
Yeah. Okay.
Because damn, that was a great match.
It was great. It's really hard because most of these matches were really, really
and
good.
it is really close with Gunther and Sheamus, because that was fantastic as well.
Yes.
But I feel that, I don't know, it's difficult, but I'm gonna say Rollins and Riddle.
That's good. Oh, our predictions for that last one, Roman and Drew.
Yeah. We had that right.
Yeah, they weren't going to drop the belts, even though it's the home crowd, but they did it in a way so it wasn't
Is it the home crowd if he's in Wales and he's from Scotland?
It's the UK, it's alright.
It's like a 10-hour drive.
It is a 10-hour drive.
It's literally the opposite end of the country.
If it had been a clean win, there would literally have been riots. So they had.
This was the only way they could have.
It was a good way to do it, and it went down pretty well.
And I think the Drew singing thing was the way to send the crowd happy, because it got that spirits back up.
Yeah, I think so.
But I don't know. Anyway.
Amazing, loved it. Had a great time.
Yeah.
Want to do it again, please? Let's do it again. And I don't think there's any need to pay 200 quid for a floor seat. We were fine where we were.
Yeah, we had really good views. I saw someone in a Facebook group having a floor seat, and they couldn't see jack.
No.
Because of the way it's a rugby pitch and it kind of slopes down at the edges.
Oh,
they were in that reset and they couldn't see jack. So you might as well just sit at home and watch on the network at that point.
Yeah, so you can't even see the screens from down there, not without craning your neck. At least where we were, because there was we were on a raised bit, and then above us was the next tier. Yeah. So we had screens up.
Yeah, we had a TV screen showing the feed, and then we had a different feed.
The big screens on
the big screen
on the castle, and we could see the ring. So for most part, you could see what was happening.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, if you guys get an opportunity, if you haven't already, go see some live wrestling, because the atmosphere's different. It's worth the experience.
Next up, we want to see AEW live, and they have teased that they're going to come to the UK next year. So
yes, please.
Good
stuff.
Big shout out as well to some of the people we met. So we met 2 people in the train station on the way, and we spent the majority of the day with them. Drew and Loretta. Fantastic. We made some new friends. It's brilliant. Shout out to those guys. And shout out to the guy that sat behind us. I believe his name was Aiden, but he's on Instagram. It's Obsolete Wrestling. He's an action figure and wrestling belt collector. He's got an impressive collection. So check him out as well. Yeah.
Oh, well, I think that's all we got.
Yep.
Thank you so much for watching. We'll be back again soon with
That's
our...
what my voice has got as well.
We'll be back soon with our reactions from All Out, the AEW pay-per-view, which we're not seeing live, so it'll be a bit different.
I have no doubt it's going to be one hell of a show, though.
Yeah. Leave a comment below. Were you at Clash at the Castle?
It's crazy, because I bumped in quite a few people I know there as well.
Me too. I've met someone that I haven't seen since high school. It's crazy. Let us know what was your favourite match of the night. And like the video if you liked it, subscribe, hit the bell to be notified when we drop new videos, follow us on socials. Our Linktree details are in the video description. And until next time,
we were there.
Visit Wales, I suppose. It's a nice place. Mostly.
And that's one thing we didn't say. They did a lot of cool little video vignettes.
Yeah.
Which is quite nice. Wales is a beautiful place. Visit Wales.
It is very good. Bye-bye.